Alright, welcome to yet another episode or another video, and today we're diving into Ethereum. I'll break down the charts and share my analysis and give you my outlook on where Ethereum might be heading next. So on our previous video, I talked about Ethereum and I gave you guys my overall analysis breakdown before we jumped into this chart. So if you want to understand how we got to where we are right now, you might want to watch the previous video, and I might just put the link in the description. So if you're new here, right, what I do is I share analysis, insights, and education around crypto and trading. So if you want to stay updated, just make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So Ethereum, right? Ethereum has been moving up, down, sideways in the past. So I think in the past, since August till now, we've just been moving up, down, sideways, making some moves. And the big picture, right? If I'm to look at the big picture, I'm supposed to look at Ethereum. So I'm supposed to look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin influences news and macro trends. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are currently aligning together. However, I might be expecting Bitcoin to sell further and Ethereum to buy, but I'm not seeing good momentum. I'm not seeing good sign. There's not much buzz going on. So I'm just going to give you guys the breakdown of the technical analysis. So in our previous video, we saw this huge channel right here. We saw that Ethereum broke right out of this channel right here. As you can see, we have this clean breakout retest, right? So I'm going to take us back to the main chart because that's where we started. So if you take a look at the main chart, you can see it's a bit messy, but yeah, I also talked about these losses that I took here trying to buy this market, and there's this position I took over here which took me down in a minus, but now we're up again and we're somewhere around break even, so no loss, no profit. But then I did explain that if you wanted to jump in, right, you could have just jumped in from right there where we were at that point where we were analyzing this market. So yeah, Ethereum, the update is that Ethereum is still moving, right? There's nothing new happening. It's just moving as expected, and for me, the trend overview is bullish, right? Quite bullish. We're currently sitting on a support zone, and if you check out the indicators gives us a good. It just tells us that we're more on the monthly and the weekly time frame, that we're more bullish. However, the oscillators are giving us some bad signs. It's been neutral for quite some time, and across all time frames it's just been neutral, but on the 1 hour we're on a strong buy, and the oscillators just gives us an indication of a buy. That's, by the way, if you take a look at these, you could also get some valuable insights on these, how many people that are using exponential moving average are buying, and how many people that are using the simple moving average are buying, and so on and so forth. So yeah, with that being said, the indicators are quite alright. News, no hype yet, everything is just calm. So let's play a scenario game right here, right? Let's just ignore what we're expecting and let's play a scenario game. All right, so we're on the daily again, remember. So now let's say paraventure, this market just wants to continue selling. Where could be the next place we would sell from? Because currently these recent candlesticks are not giving us anything good. It's like very weak compared to just this one bearish candlestick over here. It is quite understandable that yes, we are trying to break the overall, because remember, Ethereum made a new all-time high, but it's not significant enough compared to the previous all-time high. It's not far away from it, right? And I won't even consider this an all-time high. I wouldn't consider this a new all-time high, in as much as it's just like how many dollars above the original all-time high. We're just like a few dollars away, 50, yeah, maybe, yeah, 60 or 70 dollars away from the all-time high. I wouldn't consider this a solid all-time high, right? So yeah, considering the fact that we're trying to break above this all-time high and we're quite bearish in the meantime, we're actually bearish in the past 1 week, in the past 1 month we've just been bearish. Yeah, it is understandable why these bullish candlesticks are actually weak compared to this single bearish candlestick. However, we might be looking at a pattern over here, and a pattern forming. Right now, let's play scenario. This might be the pattern we're looking at forming, something like that, to break above, to gather momentum on breaking above. That's one scenario, right? So yeah, that's the bullish case right now. So yeah, in as much as we're bullish, we don't expect the market to just start flying up. Yeah, we need to see some downside, right? We need to see some momentums being created, something like this, right? Now this is quite plausible. This is probably what we need to break above the all-time high. So that's a bullish scenario, right? I'm just going to leave this on the screen so that when we come back to analyze this market, um, we would see what we were talking about. However, this video is here for that purpose already. So now let's take a look at the bearish scenario, right? On the bearish scenario, we might see market come up to here, break down from here, flip, flip, flip. I don't know where it might go to, but yeah, this might just be the case of the bearish scenario, right? Coming to tap off of here and then fly off, right? So I'm just going to also leave this on the chart, right? So this is what could happen if the bearish scenario plays out, right? So this is just what we're looking at. This is just a quick update, right, on what's happening with this market. For those who bought at that part where I told them to buy, this is what you could be on, the profits you could be on. Anyways, with that being said, I think what's important, right? What's important right now to know is that we should just be looking at Bitcoin for the overall outlook. You know how Bitcoin and Ethereum correlates. But now, one thing that I'm banking the most on, right, is this trend line coming right from 2021. This trend line coming right from 2021, as you can see, the perfect breakout and retest on that, and market is currently reacting slightly. That is what I'm banking on, and I could bank like 60%, maybe 70% on this move, because I've seen it play out before. It's a common pattern, support and resistance, the basics, everything just happening. So that is it for this. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. And this is just a recap, right? It's just a recap. So overall, I'm watching Ethereum at this level. I'm watching Ethereum to break out and give us something above $5,500, $5,600 for an Ethereum. And I won't do anything until I see this market impulse massively from here, right? Then my next bet would be buying from here, and I'll be buying massively if market does end up going to that place. So I'm just going to drop an order, right? So that's it for this, right? This is what I'll be looking out for. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'd love to hear your analysis too. So if this breakdown helped you, right, a bit, or if it did help you, hit the like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss my next update, right? Trade safe and happy trading, guys.